All right. I guess we're recording now. All right, guys. I want to welcome you to a special edition AMA. We're here with the Finnovant team. We're actually going to do some screen sharing today. That's why the format looks a little different. I'm very excited to talk with Brian and the team here. We're talking about Doge in this new Ethos metaverse. So without further ado, let me turn it over to Brian. If you want to just introduce yourself, who you are. I know you're a big deal with Finnovant, the head, the CEO. Just maybe quick introduction, and then we'll get to the rest. I think it was Cody and then somebody else.
Great, awesome. And can you hear me okay?
We can hear you fine, brother.
Yep. All right, perfect. Thank you so much for that, Robert. And just as a follow-up from the start, I just wanted to say thank you again. We're so appreciative to be here with your community. It's such an awesome community, global in nature, and what a great bunch of people. And we've got a fantastic conversation here today. We have the Ethos Metaverse, we have Doge, and we've got a screen share that we'll do. It's just fantastic to engage in this. There's all kinds of ways to generate passive income. We'll talk about those and how to get in and play it and really leverage this. A couple things side points I wanted to make is that we will have the trading kicking off tonight for Biometric Financial. That's the BioFi utility token. That will be 1 a.m. tonight on MEXC, and it will also be on the Avalanche chain in Trader Joe. And that'll be at 1 a.m. tonight. That'll be kicked off for the first time. This is a 5-year effort to get us there. So a lot of products that are in the market, this being one of them, that's part of the Biometric Financial ecosystem, and what adds, great utility to the whole thing. So really appreciate it, Robert. We've got a very passionate team here. We've got Cody and Tyler that will talk next. I'll turn it over to Cody and look forward to the event.
Awesome. Cody, please introduce yourself. Tell us all about you, man, and a little bit about your journey.
So when I was a wee lad, no, we're not going to go that deep down the rabbit hole. So how's it going, guys? My name is Cody Dyer. I'm the Chief Strategy Officer over here at Finnovant. I'm founder of the Ethos Metaverse, Doge. Started my development career, or my crypto career, just light investing, almost 10 years ago. Had some really lucky buys on, I guess not well-researched buys on things like Chainlink, under a quarter, DAG under a penny, those types of things. I got into the development space through Governor Dow, authoring the initial concept of the proof of existence protocol that's basically integrating Web3 biometric hashing of your voice and face into a unique code or hash that then can be paired with your Ethereum address and to represent a unique but anonymous individual on the blockchain. And this is, singularity, basically, and, can prove that any user on chain is your actions are your actions, and, who you say you are is who you say you are, all without even needing to know who you are. So that kind of, leads the way into this big paradigm shift of what we've begun with the Ethos almost a year ago now, even before Mark Zuckerberg did the Meta rebrand. We started working on an Unreal Engine metaverse product, Doge, and which evolved into the Ethos, and basically a foundation for games to live inside a game. We have the foundation for the AR, VR, all of the chat systems, and the Ethereum interactions and AVAX interactions and DAG interactions in the future. Once those are available, to be baked into the Unreal Engine, and really trying to make a metaverse that you never really have to leave, or except to maybe go to the bathroom, right, or pick up the food at the door, but I'm going to make sure that you can order it from inside your metaverse. And basically I'm going to put as much as I can in there and load as much value as possible. We'll get into some more of the products, etc., that we possibly can. And as an avid gamer, lifetime gamer, the first time I actually even ever heard about Bitcoin, I was playing World of Warcraft, and as many people know, as Vitalik, actually, he got into creating Ethereum because he was scorned about losing a sword in World of Warcraft in the Burning Crusade, an actual, this would never happen with a blockchain, so he set out on a vendetta to make something that, it's things that people will do because they're, a little petty, or had a little bit of motivation because saw things that, should have been better. So there's plenty of opportunity for that. And, as liquidity becomes the name of the game, and as people learn about what's happening in crypto, and, things evolve with microtransactions in the metaverse, we are well positioned to be a marvel in a generational foundation in this evolving marketplace.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much. We're really looking forward to seeing some of this gameplay too. Whoever's next, please go ahead and introduce yourself. Thank you.
Hey, how you doing, guys? My name is Tyler. I'm the Ethos project manager over at Finnovant. I've been working with Cody since pretty much the birth of Doge Run, where we originally started as a web page browser before we met our developer David, who was able to create this hyper realistic metaverse. Fairly quickly, we realized how big we could actually go with it. So it kind of transformed from a simple dog racing game into this whole world that can house multiple games on this Unreal Engine, which is very seldom, if ever, really done before when we started it. And we've just been progressing to create this world that you can live in, that you can build in, that creatives can come and kind of showcase their art, whether it's in museums or in their bases. And I mean, Cody touched on a lot of it, but it's just the potential to build a world is, endless. We could put whatever we want in it. We could put whatever you want in it. If you want a custom planet, we can, if we wanted to rain diamonds, we can do that. We can do anything. The possibilities are endless.
That sounds pretty amazing, guys. And I mean, this is the first, when Brian sent me a message, I think this was like last week, first I was hearing about this. So it's pretty interesting to see that this whole thing was kind of built out. And I'm really excited to see some of the gameplay and how this is actually going to work and interact. So you said you guys have been working on the project a little over a year. What's the team like? Is it just the one solid developer and then the Finnovant guys, or do you guys have a bigger set team? What does that look like?
So as Doge Run kind of began out, I was in a couple different tranches. I was, working a bit with Finnovant. I was working with Governor Dow, and I was, trying to work into the metaverse space. I was spreading myself very thin. But at that time period, the beginning launch, I was from the Zed Run background. I had actually I bred Escobar, which ended up being like a world-renowned horse, who ended up being a glitch pony. And like I'd bred him and I'd sold him, within an hour for like 10 ETH or something like that. And it had only been a couple $100 into the horse to breed it. And it was something that kind of struck me for how these games could play out, or how these, the genealogy on the blockchain was really what interested me, and how the lineage could bake into these long-term projects. So when I set out for that situation, I was just interested in, at the beginning, of just doing a Zed Run fork of just a browser-based racing game. But then we happened into our game developer David, who had a lot of experience with the Unreal Engine, and his full potential of making an actual realistic space galaxy, our realistic galaxy, with Titan actually having the literal sounds from NASA of what Titan sounds like playing as you're flying your ship, and as you're looking at your moon base and watching Saturn's rings. And that's something that we can't do in a web browser to the full extent. So I kind of, at the time, I'd kind of bitten off a little more than I could chew. We had a solid, pretty decent team at the time, and then I was trying to expand and do some of the marketing around products that necessarily weren't ready yet. And we had the Chainlink partnership very early on with the VRF integration with Doge Run. So Finnovant inherited the partnership that Chainlink's had, and we've expanded upon even what we've begun with just the VRF. We're planning on having the VRF right there at the start with Chainlink. But that was something, it seemed like I was trying to do some indie game project at the beginning, and now that Finnovant's kind of taken it under their wing, and they've it was the first time that I had acquired a company and kind of sold a company, at the same time. But it was really defining. There was really big milestones along the way, like the chain, getting the VRF up, getting the chain link acknowledgement, and then I was trying to scale up my marketing and some video development. We had like a whole graphics team. We hired a couple or a woman who could literally develop. She did Fortnite developments before, but she could do 3D videos. Like basically, you could walk around in the video, and like you could look around in the video and see. It was some of the craziest developing I've ever seen, and it's something that I really am interested in for how the future of the augmented realities and the VR grow. So the developments has been absorbed. We actually Finnovant acquired Dogerun at the end of February, and now we're working into all we can integrate for the BioFi products.
Hey guys, Crypto Sensei here. If you like what you're watching on this video, think about signing up for Cryptonairz. We've built out a 37-person team to work on Cryptonairz that provides every kind of info that you want to know. We have a great community of over 2,300 people that also help providing information. If you don't have 12 hours a day to commit to crypto research and knowledge, let us do most of the work for you. That's why we're here. We're one of the very few communities that have a full service security team. Every new project that wants to come work with us to do an AMA, we put them through a very strict process, and you can learn more about that in our community. We have people that understand smart contracts, that can find, malicious code or errors. And so, often we're helping these teams kind of fix their projects before they launch. And so that really gives us the power to know which new projects are going to be solid and which ones might not be. And so we provide all of this information and all of this content to our community. We have some of the most amazing members, and we have a really solid team. So if you're interested in maybe joining, come over to cryptonairz.com, sign up today. Look forward to seeing you out there in the Discord and chatting with you and growing with you, and look forward to seeing you. Thank you.
And the Doger token has been taken over by the BioFi token. We did a snapshot at the acquisition date of that, the transference over to the new token, and where the BioFi token is planning to be the beginning point of the liquidity of how we build out the foundation. We're working with another major milestone that kind of hit along the way when I was just doing the Dogerun in its separate tranche was when we started working with Cyberleap, and we basically kind of cemented the partnership of using the biometric software in the ethos itself, and kind of being able to have the multiple different game tranches and having the different individuals doing their different games, and how Cyberleap is setting themselves up to be a preface or a pre-launcher for things like the Blizzard launcher or things like the Steam launcher or those types of things, and how you'll be able to authenticate and then log into a game. That's something that we're integrating into the ethos and for the competitive gaming, et cetera, into the future, especially as you're making money. So now imagine, especially myself in the whole, I've been really deep in nodes since a strong February 4th last year was my first one, 2021. And so I've been really curious that whole time to how these sustainable models work. And of course, as we're reviewing the DAG models as being one of the most sustainable, and figuring out what one of the real differences is and things that can set you apart for these, when you're supposed to be on a wallet and you've got 100 node cap on your wallet. Okay, what's to stop that guy who's now making 10? He can make a node every day to send that to a new wallet and just make a new node in the new wallet. There's nothing, So if something like literally the SATEC biometrics you just have on your node software, the same way that we're hoping to do with our node phones, which is a biometric endpoint, and that can be across any network, across any type of node, for any fractionalization, and being able to put that onto our own network, and it's just the whole point of an underlying network, or being able to to have the throughput on your own data for things like, say, EMR and electronic medical records, or bonds, and being doing underwriting, or having decentralized lending and being bridges between networks. You need to have the liquidity yourself, and setting up in a position to where you can almost, especially as things, the difference between the DAG and the blockchain itself, it's almost like a ledger. It's almost like a ledger on it. So it's like it kind of procures and rearranges the data on the blockchains. So if you have something like, say, Avalanche C chain, to where, for example, Krptic, where they were doing 66% of the, two-thirds of the Avalanche throughput, and they put their own subnet on there, and now TUS is the transactionary token of the network, and people be like, isn't that bad for AVAX? No, because they already had to lock up 2 million, 20 million AVAX to get a validator node in the first place. And then the reason why, especially with scalability, doesn't work with Ethereum is because you can't remove those. You look at OpenSea doing 20 to 30% of the daily volume on Ethereum, and how much smoother would that be if they had their own subnet, or hypothetically a state channel, so to speak, or a subnet that could align your own, where, especially if they didn't go private, they could run on their own network token, but that's still running on the underlying network of whatever the layer zero or otherwise would be processing as. So I know this was a very long-winded question.
It's all.
What does the team look like? But it's scaled, and we actually had to downsize. I had to downsize in the fall before Finnovant was getting back in, because especially in this space, people fall off. There's so many teams where they're like, oh, I wouldn't blame you if your sale didn't go well. Start over again. But no, that was our first raise didn't go great. We could have done a lot better, but we held on for the year, and then now we're acquired by Finnovant, and I was able to, we're able to kind of get the whole thing working on the BioFi token, and we scaled from a little bit of indie gaming company to now we're working to be, something to, an enterprise to tango with.
I know how that is, man. Like, a little over 2 years ago, I just wanted to teach people crypto, and I just wanted to have a safe place where people could learn. And then, it's kind of blown up into this. And then now, we want to do a KYC and an audit and phone app and all this other stuff. So I totally get how things can start as one thing and just explode into totally something else. But let's get back into.
Are you going to have us help you with your KYC?
We can talk about that on the side, definitely. Let's get back into the game though, because I think a lot of people are now interested into like how to, because I know you can go to the website right now. Was dogerun.io. You can mint eggs, and I think you can even hatch them in the incubator, right? So let's talk us through how people are going to be participating. I know there's 7,777 NFTs. Talk us through the game and how people are going to be able to play to earn and how that is going to look like.
Yeah, for sure. So right now, the digital scarcity on the eggs looks like 1,111 Genesis eggs that are on the Ethereum chain. So now those 1,100 eggs hatch into a dog, and they hatch into a shell. The shell will be redeemable for a Doge ship. Your ship will be the first 11. This is the real rarity of the first 1111. Your Doge ship is the first piece that actually has the access to be able to fly around, and is the only ship that won't have to be crafted or redeemed in some other manner later on. And they have breeding reductions and etc. for your dogs. That's basically the founders piece for the ethos. So, and then right now the Doges, they're sitting on the Ethereum chain. The current Doges that are available will be transferred to AVAX, and the AVAX will get the rest of the supply out on that chain. And we will have the VRF currently, as it stands with Chainlink, they are in testnet for VRF on AVAX. So our intent for our gaming is to use so sorry for anybody who's not familiar, VRF stands for verifiable randomness function. So this is a call. So anybody who's familiar with gaming has heard of RNG, or random number generators. So now in all games, this is, people pray to the RNG gods that they're going to get the best results for their loot drops, etc. So with VRF and, the Chainlink VRF, it's provable on-chain randomness. drawing from the bucket, and they do their crazy algorithm or whatever. So that was a really interesting transition, because on the mainnet they charge 2 chain link. On Ethereum mainnet they charge two chain link for a verifiable randomness call, but on Matic it's like 0.0001, and on AVAX it's it's a similar low number. But in order to have VRF on Chainlink or on mainnet, you gotta fork up that two Chainlink. So when we started it, it was like $50-$60 per call, and we wanted to do that VRF call for you for free. So we had to go pony up the whole other back end of what the VRF was, and get the contract with Chainlink to get the reimbursement. So, now we're figuring out how to work into more things, potentially like their keepers and, other things that are to be mentioned later. But the whole focus of baking in the racing, being able to customize your planet. So I think Tyler has a clip for you to show you of your moon base. You're going to be able to kind of like customize your planet or your moon base outside Saturn, kind of like Animal Crossing, where you have the the different variations and all the customizable items. We're going to end up, so there's going to be into the first products, for example, like the node phone that BioFi has, and the UniSafeBox NFTs and the Saytech NFTs, etc. There's going to be like founders passes and other types of NFTs. There's some gorgeous NFTs you're going to end up seeing. I don't know if I have any teasers here now. We might, but anyway, you're going to be able to see these things. And that these founders passes are going to act, if you're familiar with how like the Pixelverse, and if anybody's familiar with the founders pass or the Pixelverse with Sappy Seals, they have a founders pass, then they'll give you free mints and then whitelist access to other types of mints. So like it'll be a certain amount of time where those first lockups of these BioFi products, there's a limited quantity on the node phones at the start, for the staking. Then all these types of products are gonna lead you. I'm gonna give you so much free stuff that you're gonna customize your base. It's gonna be wild. So just off the first access points are gonna lead to more free things. That's kind of the whole goal, especially for an early company, and starting with your early adopters and the people who are really there at the beginning. You want to make sure you're rewarding them forever, because this is that's your growth and your foundation, your family, and especially as we're building things like our inheritance features. This is, and as we talk about how this is a product that's been started for 5 years. This isn't something that's here today, gone tomorrow. And we want things like the inheritance features and as the metaverse foundation. So something that I'm kind of really honing in on, or really putting our gravity towards, is the phones themselves, the node phones, and interfacing in your individual a planet in the metaverse. So a place that you're able to, so it'll be, the lockup for the NFT itself. You can get the NFT of staking for the phone or buy it outright. And then once you're able to lock up your node phone to receive the physical device, because we're kind of, we're evolving the way that people look at digital products and, physical products. So for example, like an NFT that represents your digital product licensing, that it gives you access to a metaphysical piece almost in the metaverse that you're then able to utilize. So for your phone that you would lock up and receive, you'd be able to access data aggregation and build on it with other buildings and other types of things that we add to the metaverse down the line as customization increases.
But we can't mint these passes just yet, right? This is separate from minting those neg. Yeah. So
when BioFi goes live,
yep,
there's several different deposit pools or different product pools that are different lockup periods for example, the UniSafeBox, for the node phone and Saytech, and those lockups will give you before that lockup is over, you'll get the NFT for the node phone, etc.
Okay.
If I could cut in back
Please.
to kind of the original question of the gameplay and earning. You were going off. I didn't want to interrupt.
All good.
But back to what Cody was saying a little bit about the VRF function and the verifiable randomness, and how in anybody who's played games has relied on RNG. We want to try to take that away as much as possible in the game and do everything provably on chain. So anything that deals financially or anything deals with any kind of like BioFi exchanges, races, anything, we want to integrate VRF as much as we can so that nobody feels slighted when they lose a race, when they breed and the dog they breed isn't the top tier. We want to put VRF in minting, breeding, racing. We can even extend it to weather patterns, so you can have like different weather patterns affect the race, and even that will be random. Nobody will decide what that's going to be. So our goal from the start was a provably fair game. So integrating VRF in every aspect of it is going to be huge, and we want the player to feel like they have a shot at everything they do.
I think it's incredible.
It was impossible to do that on Ethereum at the chain link a call.
No, there's a lot here. Are we going to be able to like gamble on these races, or when you win a race, what like
Yes.
are you getting? Like, can you walk us through that? And then I know Scott has a couple questions, and then I'm really interested in seeing some of this video and this gameplay. So walk us through that, please.
So the intent with the racing is to basically you wager a coin and a USD value. And then you can win a variety of other coins in exchange. So if I wanted to wager $10 worth of BioFi in the race, and then somebody wanted to wager, $10 worth of AVAX in the race, if they win, they get back in what they wagered. And you'll be able to do it however amount you want, because we're going to do custom races where you can set like what the buy-in is, and then it's going to be the top three places win like a crypto token back, regardless of what it may be. And then the rest of the people who don't place will still earn scraps. Now, scraps are going to be used to create items and help build houses and ships and furnish your bases and things like that. That can also be transferred over into auction houses, and you'll be able to sell those materials or those items. So whether you win or lose, you're always in a position to still earn.
Man, there's so much. I think we could sit here for 4 hours and talk about this. There's so much to this game. Scott, I know you maybe have a couple questions that maybe weren't answered. Do you want to maybe go through them, and then maybe we can get into some of this gameplay?
Yeah, sure. So I guess one of my questions is, with all the different metaverses that are coming on the blockchain and they're popping up left and right now, and I know a lot of them are not legit. They're just made by some $500 site and stuff like that. But how do you guys plan to take that market share with what you guys are doing and captivate people and bring them in and keep them on your platform with that and the ethos?
Well, so my thoughts with the metaverse, like I kind of said earlier on, we were building towards this concept before the I don't like to say it like it sounds so hipster when you're like I caught on before the mainstream did, but we literally started the foundation. And it turns out if you go look at what it takes to make a game, it actually takes about 3 to 5 years to make the average for how these real games kind of end up coming out. And we're on schedule to beat that with what we're already pumping through within the metaverse. And so, for example, like I'm a very big investor in the Pixelverse and Sappy Seals, and I really like a lot of what they're doing. But like with a lot of what's happening right now with Sandbox, etc., it's just like the pixels might be here now, and that might be a really good place. But it's like that's not the future. CryptoPunks reigned for a while, but Bored Apes swept. You know what I'm saying? Like the people got over historical relevance much faster, pretty quick for, this is the best looking, PFP. So like that type of, and we're already building like I was stating, the foundations for the VR AR, and I keep up with the Van Gogh exhibits, the Banksy exhibits. I'm like seeing the VR worlds, and I'm, I know what I want this to look like, and I know where I want to if I needed to 50 years from now, I'm going to have the place to upload my consciousness. Nothing going to stop me from that.
That's deep, man.
So I guess let's show your video.
Before I jump down that though,
but
down to just a little point to that, a point to what Ty said. So we have like the VRF, for example, and you're able to do that with your weather patterns or the thing in anything in your room, or what's happening in the world around you. So much so to the point you could basically and if you made the simulation real enough, like let's say David had the God skills that I think he could. If it's possible, he could create the simulation that we're in, bacon VRF for every single call to action, which way the birds around you fly, the wind blows, and you can simulate reality.
Gotcha. Okay.
Damn, this is deep, man.
Yeah, it goes deep. If you VRF everything in the game, then it's no different than real life.
It's incredible that you guys brought in like sounds and you guys like went that deep to think about different things, and like I really want to see how this thing works. It's you guys. Yeah.
When David messaged me and said this is the sound that they actually heard when they explored Titan, I was like, oh my god, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty deep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you guys want to get into sharing some of the stuff?
Yeah, so I'll get on a screen share right now.
Let's do it.
All right, so we'll just do this right here.
Watch stream, top left, everyone, top left.
All right. So first we're gonna go right here. This is the so it's a downloadable game. So it's gonna download the same way you would download, Overwatch or World of Warcraft or something like that. We want to put a little launch pad for various different games that come into the metaverse, but this is the login screen. So go to Ethos Metaverse, Doge Run, and then it's going to take you to right now in this one, since this is the beta, you can play as any dog you want, but once you connect your wallet, it'll be only the dogs that you have in your wallet. So first off, we got the Shiba Inu. Let's go through the dogs. We got the Doberman over here. I wish the thing turned around a little quicker. We could see their faces, but we'll see it in the game. So we got German Shepherd, a Husky. I'm just gonna go through these. We'll get right into it because you can't see their faces right now. We'll go back to the Shiba Inu. And then there's a variety of different colors as well, which is 50 different colors, kind of like rarities. So some of the colors are a little bit more rare than the other ones. We have a scarcity list on our website right now that you can, if you wanted to view. Doge Gold, which I believe is this color actually, is the rarest of the dog colors. I think the Doge Gold Shiba Inu, there's about 5.
Awesome.
So
good to know. That's the one I'm looking for when I'm minting. I want the gold one. Got it.
Yes, exactly. So here we go. So now this is the metaverse. So this is Titan right now, Ron. So we got Saturn right over there because this is one of Saturn's moons. And then we'll start down here with the hatchery. So these are all the Origin Ethos mystery eggs.
Oh, cool.
So the dogs they're reflective. They actually reflect the sun as you're running too. A little strut right there. And then when we come in here, you can start to see the the reflective surfaces, the detail into like just the environment around it. Even the eggs, you can see your dog walking by. So the goal here is to make these eggs so you can hatch your egg in the game in real time right in front of you. And then they'll hatch into whatever dog you get.
And how far out are you from this?
This is probably closer than expected. Right now we're in the process of swapping it to an AWS server so that we can allow more people into it, which the AWS server should be live tonight as soon as our token goes live as well. So we'll be able to bring everyone in here. You can see DG Barron over there. That's the developer. He's got the server running right now. So he's in here all the time.
So right now you can hatch the VRF on the website, but we're working to get it into the game with the Wallet Connect. So there's an integration of going from the local server where this is hosted right now to an AWS. So we can start, hosting it globally, have more people online. You actually need to have it on AWS to get it insured, on licensed, etc. So the intention for that is to get that up, get the Wallet Connect up. It's actually coded for Ethereum right now. David has the Wallet Connect basically done for Ethereum. So we're working on getting that into the AVAX. And the VRF on AVAX, according to Chainlink, should be done about May 20th. So we're seeing what's after that goes live. We'll probably have it testing. Definitely have it testing before they're done with it. But we're hoping, to kind of be really heavy into their they don't have a lot of people that are on the list for the VRF on AVAX right now. So as they move through the products and they're trying to get more awareness to it, we're hoping to catch that wave of the their announcements.
When will races like that kind of stuff be starting, and when will we actually be able to compete with each other?
So the simple answer to that is I could have already had you doing it, but the proper way to do it with all the the yellow tape and all the licensing and all the regulations and whatever needs to be done legally.
Yep.
I should wait a little while, get everything situated properly, make sure all those pieces are flowing, and as we're building out more products and making it easier. So like for example, it's a lot easier for me to have a race you can enter your dog in, put a couple bucks on, than it is for me to have you bet on a dog race. Similar to a situation that Zed was in, and they're like, oh yeah, we don't really want you betting on the races yet. You can probably use the dogs, and it's not necessarily gambling because it's your horse, that sort of situation.
Oh, did we lose you?
So how does the project make money from this then?
From the Doge run itself?
Yeah.
Right now?
Or are you guys going to be taking a percentage of the races? I assume that's how you guys are going to.
There'll be a small fraction of the races. Basically, the idea is to the margins and the royalties on your spaceships and all the free stuff I give you. Kind of try and make it in a handful of percent or less. Make all the revenue from all the spaceships, and so they'll be it'll probably be similar to things it'll be similar to for example, like with the Pixelverse, where they had the whitelist for a lot of people that had the founders passes, and half of it is minted for founders passes, and then you have the small amount that's available for public sales. But mainly it'll just keep being whenever we come out with a new product, we're gonna hire more developers, because so right now David has basically done pretty much all the main foundation work, but we're working on getting more people to develop more models. So if anybody here likes to develop game models, hit me up. That's the type of we're trying to load as many products and as many games. Like for example, we're working on a game with Cyberlead. We'll be involved in their NFT sale for their game. We're working on other types of games, and basically the metaverse right here, or the foundation that you're seeing here, I can put anything in this. We can put any types of other games, or if you wanted to have a product, or for example, we're in I mentioned with conversations with Governor Dow, putting their own forum, a place where they can meet up. This is a place where you can come in, you can add your friends list, you can talk to them, different chat channels.
We also have a chat feature into it, so that when you come in here with friends, you can talk to each other. We want to integrate parties so that you can group up if you're going to go to a race together. As far as earning, there's also going to be microtransactions. You'll be able to buy in-game items.
Dexes in the game.
Yeah, and if you wanted to buy, similar to Cody keeps referring to the Pixelverse, where you can go to their site and you can buy in-game items with their coin. It would be similar to being able to buy you'd be able to buy a base with BioFi, or you'd be able to buy a ship with BioFi. So that'll be another way that that we can actually earn from this, while not necessarily taking too large of a percentage, from races or from anything like that, or royalties. We don't need to have the 10% royalties if we're making it on other venues as well.
I'm trying to provide the place for your liquidity to grow, and give you the safe haven for that, and then. That's because I'm building stuff that I want for myself, and my family, and that type of situation, especially with the inheritance feature, et cetera. So this is a place that I want to pass down.
So let me ask real quick. Once you guys mint out the 7,777 NFTs, what then? I mean, is there going to be any version 2 dogs, or are the OG dogs going to be more valuable? I mean, I'm just trying to. The people that are looking at
the Genesis ones, definitely.
Okay.
Similar to the way Zed has it now, and then they'll have the lessening or the decreasing value of the breeds on the ones that are offset.
Offspring.
The offspring, and then there's some real alpha conversations into putting AIs into how your dog learns down the line. So your companion will literally learn as you interact with it.
Yeah, and each dog will have a hidden set of stats that will affect their racing as well. So back to not necessarily AI, but learning your dog is going to be a key factor in racing. Some dogs will race better on Titan as opposed to Europa, which is one
different
of
gravities.
Neptune's moons, I believe, if I'm thinking correctly. And So yeah, different gravities, different distances, how often you race your dog. Some will be gate favor, so if they're in a specific gate, they'll race better. But right now, where I am is the just like a basic home base. So each origin dog will be able to get one of these bases, and then you'll be able to furnish it however you want. Right now, we just have all the windows over it, but you'll be able to set up different walls, different levels, rooms. You'll be able to hang your NFTs or any kind of digital products that we put out. So the NFTs that come from BioFi, you'll be able to showcase inside your base.
Dang, this is pretty cool, guys. So I mean, I know I kind of asked this, but like, what is the actual like end date you think that we're gonna actually be racing? Like, is this like 3 months away? Is it 6 months away? I mean, I really want to kind of. I know you guys are still kind of developing everything like that, but I really want to hammer it down for the people maybe listening or watching at home. You know, why go out and spend, you know, maybe $400 or $500 on this dog now if they're not going to be able to use it for some time? Just maybe walk us through that a little bit better, I think.
Yeah, I think 3 to 6 months is a reasonable expectation for having the dogs racing on ABAX. The whole goal of the dogs was not necessarily to. Of course, we need the funding. The whole goal of the dogs was beginning to place yourself in there, and being able to start to see that the genesis results. And yeah, but to answer the conversation, long story short, that 3 to 6 month I think is a fair range to say on our racing, especially as we're working further with. What was short on the other side was some contract work, and we got some more conversations with Chainlink, and I think that's a reasonable expectation.
All right. Do you guys have anything else to share? Do you want to open it up to maybe some questions from the audience if they have any?
Let me bounce over and showcase some of the ships a little bit.
Yeah, please. I'd love to see some ships.
So here we go. So this is a different version that's just for the testing of the ships. So we have these two. Of course, it's going to show the back.
Yeah, you guys got to work on rotating it the other way or something.
Oh, I think it's because I had it open before.
That's probably what it was. Oh, that's kind of cool.
So, yeah, so we'll just pop right into it. Yeah, so I had it open before, and usually it starts. Oh, okay. So this is a different version. One sec.
Oh, hold on. Let me
just going to open this thing up. It's a Smite background.
Smite.
If anybody plays Smite. Let's see. I may unplug the cord on my end.
That's all good, man. Whenever I'm trying to do something, something always doesn't go exactly how I want it to go, and it's just like, no.
All right.
Let's try it again.
Let's see. There we go.
Cool.
So this is how it should look. You open it up and the ships are facing you.
There we go.
And then so we have that ship, and then we have this one. Same different colors as the dog, so you can go through a bunch of different varieties of them.
I'll go with the red one.
I'm going orange. Sunburst orange.
And then are we going to be racing ships eventually too, guys? Is that maybe the end goal too? Maybe racing ships in space around planets and different things?
Yep.
So these are the ships that you'll be able to fly around. This is how you're going to get from planet to planet. So this is Titan.
You're going to need to gas these babies up.
Yep. And then Titan has methane lakes, so that's what this lake is. And then it also has the methane gas surrounding it. So
Got it.
That's not the base. And then you have...
So where do you get your fuel from?
What's that?
Where do you get your fuel from then? Is that what that is on the left side?
So that is actually your warp boost. So if you're flying and you hit R, it takes off.
Gotcha.
And then it'll regen up. But the gas you'll get from in-game gas stations, similar to how you fuel your car up.
Gotcha.
Now, if you were to own one of these gas stations, if you were to, build one, you'll have the benefit of, you'll reap the benefits from people gassing up at your gas stations.
And when will that be available? Because I'm all about those NFT metaverse plays for passive income.
That one will be probably focused that right after the racing goes live.
Got
and
it.
that 3 to 6 month timeline could speed up depending on how things go over the launch and how things work on the next month. But I think that's a safer range to kind of give you a little further push. There's been so many things that have been going into the launch tomorrow, with the different exchanges, and this is actually our first priority after the launches are AVAX, VRF contracts, and getting the metaverse, more NFTs out for the metaverse. So this is like the best time to be right before we start getting, just start unloading your wallet with NFTs.
Yeah, so like we said, the metaverse is pretty big. We're going to do some loop-de-loops.
The screen share is so much better in this than the Zoom.
Oh, yeah. So
this is actually real distance, so like it takes you a while to get places.
yeah, so if you want this, I've just been kind of flying around a little bit. If I can go straight up, then we'll see that is
Can you
how
purchase
far I
bigger
am. Yeah, so each ship will
different
also have
ships
different stats
have
as well. So speed,
different stats.
handling. Some of the bigger ships will be a little slower, but they're massive ships. They might have some other perks as well. But the smaller ships probably go faster. It's going to be a trade-off. But like I said, the place is huge, so if we're that far away from that.
So the ships are the only things. That's the if you want to know what the kicker is, the caveat to having the Genesis dogs versus waiting for the AVAX dogs.
Yep.
Is that the first 11 are the only ones that have the Genesis ships, and the only ones that'll be out before crafting and those types of gameplay mechanics come into place. So that kind of gets that.
So you'll have the ships before other people can build them.
This is very early, very, very early. Is there anything else you guys want to show us before we see if there's any questions from the audience? Is there anything else?
No,
maybe
yeah, I know we're running out of time. I just wanted to get these ships out first. Quick test flight.
No, it's pretty cool, man. I think you guys are creating something very unique, and I can't wait to see the final product. Whether that takes 6 to 8 months for the ships, but it looks pretty cool. Do we have any questions from the audience? Does anyone want to raise their hand or unmute and ask a question, I guess, at this point? I know we kind of covered it pretty well. At this point, you can just unmute and ask a question, guys. I forgot we're screen sharing, so there's no God mode for me having to invite you up to speak. It doesn't seem like anyone has any questions. I mean, I think we went over it pretty well, and it's pretty amazing what you guys are building.
That's the base.
Yeah, that's the base. And when you do come into to plant your ship, as you get closer, you'll see a little prompt. Press L to land, and then boom, pops your ship down for you. So this was on the other one, but the ship wasn't floating in it.
And then your dog jumps out, and the dog's driving.
And then your dog will come out.
Nice,
yeah.
nice.
So then, you get your ship, you get your base. You can pop over here, board the ship, take off.
Then the cyber elites, et cetera, will be able to pilot their avatars, and we'll be putting in more avatars and other types of characters as things go on.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
When did you say Genesis Mint was?
The Genesis Mint started last 6-7 months ago, and there's a little less than the half of it. There's not been a big rush to the Genesis ship mint.
Or the Genesis dog mint.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe because it was a little further away as we're getting closer now.
The shells turn into the dogs, so the ships they're like 3/4 of the way designed, and then they can be turned into. We've already got discussions around minting them into the NFTs.
Solid.
Gotcha. So that'll be further. That'll be closer than the 8-month thing for getting the ships. But when they're actually used for a functionality like racing, etc., when the utility for the ships comes in, other than just literally being able to use your ship, that might be a little further.
Yeah, and as planets come out, you'll need your ship to get from planet to planet. So essentially, you would just fly up as far as you could, and then it would say, would you like to leave Titan? You could pop out into actual space. You see another planet, you fly towards that, and it would say, would you like to enter Pluto, or whatever the planet may be.
And then as this thing kind of goes from, the one galaxy of like your realistic universe to as you've seen, for example, flying out like he was talking about. What's that? Is that?
I think someone was unmuted.
Oh, but so as you're leaving the planet, going between the different universe or worlds, if anybody's played Kingdom Hearts, to where as you go to a different planet or a different universe, you actually turn into the character that's accustomed to that universe. So your avatar could change between games. We've got a couple of other people that are talking about wanting to build games in the metaverse that we're providing, and it's it's a beautiful foundation. So hopefully it's especially because we will be able to give the access to other people who want to use VRF. They want to use the authentication. You could use the ethos and barely use any of our games other than what you want to use, or you might just need to go to the auction house to trade the other things. But they can coexist inside the ethos itself. So like Doge Run and Cyber Elite planets, for example.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, I think that was a very good demonstration of what you guys are building, and we look forward to kind of seeing what the final product looks like. I mean, if you guys want to go mint one of the origin eggs, right, or you guys can go to dogerun.io, right? Is it correct?
And go to Interstellar Shelter.
Yep, the Interstellar Shelter has the origin eggs, and then tomorrow the first access to the phones, the Node phones, goes on sale. So the pre-sale access to the Node phones goes with the staking tomorrow, and that's going to be extremely limited. There's like 200 devices that are, I believe, is the first round of staking. So
sweet.
Those phones were like $800, weren't they?
But the device is free with it, and then there's like 25% APY.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's a good thing
to bring up.
Yeah, that's a good thing to bring up, guys, because talking about this in relation to the launch late tonight is just an amazing thing, and it's fantastic to show this off because you're seeing the growth of this, right? The ideas behind it, the innovation, and it'll lead to a whole build out with all kinds of capabilities and ties into the biometric financial ecosystem and lots of ways for people to interact with it and have passive income and enjoy the all the features.
Sweet. Awesome. And then Brian, if you can send me some more information about the phones and the sale and stuff like that, is that open to the public? Anyone can buy it, or how does that going to work?
Yes, that's exactly right. So what will happen tonight at 1 a.m. Pacific time is MEXC will start the trading on their platform, and then right at the same time, Trader Joe will start. We will open up a website, which we'll send the link to you, Robert, so you can feed it into your channels.
Appreciate it.
And all that people have to do is click that link once they acquire some BioFi from any of those locations, and then they'll be able to surf over to that link and access the biometric financial ecosystem. And it's pretty easy to follow the screens on that, and they'll be able to go through. We've got 4 just amazing rewards options, and they'll love it. They'll go and take a look at it and just be amazed. It's a great setup and really helps to build out the ecosystem.
Is there a minimum amount that we have to stake?
There's for each of the products, there's a minimum and a maximum based on the reward.
Hold on. Sorry. Sorry, when you have an open channel, anyone can kind of just,
no worries.
Some things aren't muted. Awesome, guys. Well, I really appreciate your time, and thank you for sharing this. Is there anything else maybe that we need to know, Brian, before we end today?
I just want to say thank you so much. We'll send over the links and everything so your team has all that they need.
Appreciate it.
And we look forward to really getting BioFi out there and really supporting the team and really building up that ecosystem.
Well, thanks, Robert. Thanks, Scott. Thanks for having Scott always asks some good questions. Robert's always got good energy and happy to come around.
I appreciate you guys.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, and it's incredible what you guys are
Maybe
building.
Get closer to that launch day in 3 to 6 months, maybe we do a follow-up AMA with you guys.
That would be fantastic.
That's great.
We would love that, guys. Well, we really appreciate your time. And,
Sure.
Thank you
we'll
so
show
much.
You what my planet looks like.
Awesome, guys. All right. Well, you guys take care. Thank you so much for your time today, and it was a pleasure speaking with you.
Yeah,
Thanks.
thank you.
Take care.
Fantastic. Thanks so much.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching. This has been another Cryptonairz AMA. If you want more information or to get close to projects like this early, please sign up, cryptonairz.com. Thank you guys.